Hey guys, Level Zero here, and today we're gonna elaborate on topic Tuesdays, which was yesterday's video. If you missed that video, I'll link it in the description, and let's get straight into this. First on the list is GTA 5, and this is probably the most anticipated game for the PC. And recently it was pushed back due to not, if it was released like 2 weeks from now, it will not be stable, so it's being pushed to March, sometime in March. And the system requirements actually has been released by Rockstar. And I'm just gonna go through the minimum specs. The minimum OS is Windows Vista 64-bit Service Pack 2 or newer. A processor is a Core 2 Quad Q6600 at 2.4 GHz. For the AMD side, you're gonna need a AMD Phenom 9850 quad core at a minimum of 2.5 GHz. The memory you need is 4 GB, is pretty standard. Video card is a NVIDIA 9800 GT 1 GB. For the AMD side, you're gonna need an AMD HD 4870 1 GB. Pretty old cards. I imagine you would have to do some pretty heavy tweaks to run the game with those specs, but HDD space 65 GB at this time, at this day and age, you're gonna need either a SSD with over 500 GB or a 1 TB HDD, because games are only getting larger. Recommended specs is Windows 8, Windows 7, 64-bit Service Pack 1 or newer. Not supporting 32-bit this time around. For the Intel side of things, you're gonna need an i5 3470 at 3.2 GB. For the AMD side, you're gonna need an 8350 at 4 GHz stock clocks. For memory, you're gonna need 8 GB of RAM. For video cards, you're gonna need a GTX 6060 2 GB. For AMD side, you're gonna need a 7870 2 GB. Sound DX10 cap capable, same HDD space, 65 GB. Some people are going to be upset about the 65 GB, but really, if you really look at the recent specs for older games such as Titanfall or Call of Duty, you would know that those were 50 GB and growing due to patches and DLC. Let's get on to why it was delayed. As stated from Rockstar, they say, our apologies from the slight shift in date, but the game requires a few extra weeks of testings to polish and make the game as good as it can be. If you look at the track record for past games, such as Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Battlefield 4, BF3, all those past games had terrible releases, and AC Unity. Those had really bad, some people couldn't even run the game with decent specs, and then it was just terrible. I'm hearing that Assassin's Creed is actually running better, but I don't really trust Ubisoft, so that's just my opinion. But I don't really know when it's going to be released, sometime in March. Now let's get on to Battlefield Hardline, the second most anticipated game. Visceral has usually sent out a tweet earlier today saying, let's talk about the beta. We don't want to announce the date until we pass cert, so we're absolutely sure everything's good. Basically what they're saying is, you're not going to say the date, but we know, and they know, that they're probably going to release it late January, or mid-February, late February, around those times, before the actual game releases. And for the last bit of news, we're gonna talk about the recent Kraken or Octopus or Megalodon Jack Frags and his team found. And it seems like JJJU on Twitter tweeted out saying, stop searching for the Megalodon, it is locked server side, so even if you try to trigger it, you're not going to be able to trigger it. And people like Luton and all those people are kind of battling it out, because basically Luton says we should not developers concentrating on Easter eggs, while Jack Frags is saying, wait, we should have Easter eggs, because right now Battlefield is kind of boring to me, in my opinion. it's kind of getting boring, so the Easter eggs kind of keeps it alive. But Jack Frags, no, not Jack Frags, Luton says we should be concentrating on the teamwork aspect of things. I do respect both of their sides, but in my opinion, I think that they should add more Easter eggs and try to contribute more to the CTE and focus on trying to bring them back to the vanilla game, in my opinion. That's all for this video today, guys. If you liked the video, liked it. If you disliked it, disliked it. Leave a comment letting me know if the commentary was any. Well, that's all for today, guys. And be sure to keep an eye out for tomorrow's video. A little bird has told me there'll be a new series coming. But this is Level 0, saying have a good day.